What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game in a Week show. I'm Matt, that's Ash, and the returning Dan Gilbert.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Much better. No one wants the flu.
No, that's true. We had a good episode about him, though, Ash, didn't we?
Without sick note.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Some would say the best episode we've done.
It was possibly.
But
Would those people be?
The other 5 people that watched it. 7 views, and that includes the 2 of us. And probably you as well, actually.
Yes.
So 4 other people, thank you to those. So the Game of the Week show, for the few people that are watching, is a weekly show that the 3 of us do where we get together every Monday to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We also then talk about each of the game releases for that week before picking our favourite games of the week. So if you're a fan of video games, video game news, conversations, let's plays, we do that all here, and you can see everything we do on thegamerinitiative.com. The link to that is down below. So, kicking off with the news this week, the same as last week, I believe it was. We're going to start on sad news.
Yeah.
Bad news. That's what everyone's interested in. No one likes the happy news. Everyone likes the bad news, and that is that Fable Legends has been cancelled, and Lionhead Studios are going to be closing. So this was really kind of shocking, out of left field. Didn't expect it to be happening. The game was initially supposed to be out in December last year, then got pushed until April. The beta is still running right now on the game.
That's mad.
But yeah, they've ceased production on it. The studio's looking to close. The beta will apparently run for another couple of months for the people that are still in it, if they want to continue to enjoy it. But yeah, this is really surprising. Obviously, Fable was once regarded as one of the best console RPGs.
Yeah.
People made fun of the concept of this game, the whole going to the free to play and everything, whether or not it was going to work. And Lionhead, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this? Like, why cancel? There must be something we don't know, because a game this far along, or allegedly this far along, to cancel it now, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes. Surely.
Yeah, you'd think that they're either in massive financial trouble to the point where they don't even think releasing a game can help them anymore. Especially if you're going with the free-to-play thing.
There's a cost to that, though. That's it. I mean, even it's not even just the making of the game; it's the production, it's the release, the ongoing support. There is a lot of cost commitment you have to be able to give to a game before launching a game and really committing to it. And if they're not confident that it's going to be maybe as successful as they first hoped, then yeah, potentially it could be putting them in a bit of a difficult situation from a financial point of view.
We have seen Microsoft in the past with certain games, or heard stories, maybe not so much seen, as where they say, well, you have this much money. If they run out of money, then that's it. Yeah. Sometimes, maybe if they truly believe in it, they might give them more money, but for the most part, it's kind of understandable. If you get told you have this much money and you run out of money, that's not Microsoft's fault. That's your fault for badly handling your
budget.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, because otherwise you're just going to end up with studios continually pushing and be like, "No, we need a couple of million more just to do this," and then they get through that couple of million. Actually, we need another million or so, and it's
you need to learn.
It continues
to
push, and also if you set the budget, it also helps set the deadline. Because it's like, if they got to have a continual budget, it means they can keep trying to add stuff, and therefore they don't have to set a deadline.
Yeah, there's a business sense to it. I mean, people say it's costing you more money to cancel than it is to release it, but we don't know what state the game is in. We don't know in terms. Yes, the beta is available, but that's normally a slice of the game. That's not the whole section of the game. So, for all we know, that might have been artificially made to look better than what the rest of the project was in.
Exactly. It could be like zone, storyline, whatever it is that they've released to the public could be perfectly workable, and then everything outside of it is a heaping steam of mess.
Exactly.
In terms of coding or whatever.
So, obviously, whenever a studio closes, people lose their jobs, which is not good for them. But Sony have actually come out. They've used this as a good chance to jump on the PR bandwagon and say that they're going to hold a recruitment event for all of the staff affected by this closure. As if to be like, you don't want them, Microsoft? We'll have them.
And then it'll be shortly afterwards a new game called Fable will be released.
So
it'll be titled the same. We'll just have the accent.
I would imagine that if there are people good enough at that studio that Microsoft believe in, Microsoft will be doing something for their people as well.
Yeah.
Because just because the studio's closing doesn't necessarily mean that those people are losing that job, but doesn't mean they're losing all jobs for Microsoft.
No,
Microsoft have plenty of other studios.
Some people, though, can become very jaded with one side of it if they feel that they're the reason that they've lost their job, kind of thing. So it's like, I don't want to go work for you again somewhere else because the same thing could just happen to me again and again, kind of thing. So some people will probably just want to jump sides, and some people want to stay, and it's a closing. And some don't care; they'll just go where the work is,
wherever the biggest paycheck is.
Exactly.
Closing comment then on this one: do you think Fable as a franchise is dead because obviously Microsoft own the IP? Or do they use this as will it ever rise from the ashes?
Dead.
It'll probably be seen at some point.
It's a strong answer.
It will be seen again at some point. Like it's one of those things where they hold the rights to it.
I think it has the potential.
If they pull in the majority of the stuff still, and it's something that can still be seen, it just won't necessarily be Fable Legends.
No, well, a lot of people, if you read the fans on the internet, they were kind of cautious about Legends anyway because it wasn't what they believed. Fable 1 and 2 were incredible. 3 was kind of a slight missed opportunity and everyone was worried about this one anyway. So maybe they'll use it as a chance. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. Because
it is a big name.
Xbox doesn't have many RPG heavy titles.
Yeah.
So they do need that genre. Even though...
The things with Fable, you don't have to have played it to know the name.
No.
I haven't really played it, and I know Fable. It's one of those classic. Brand. It is. It's a brand. But I still think I don't know. I don't hold much hope for it.
No. We'll move on to another Xbox title that is definitely coming at some point. I'm not going to say this year, just in case. But Gears of War 4. In an exclusive of this month's edition of Game Informer, it was revealed the cast of the game. Everyone was kind of wondering when we saw that trailer at E3 last year, where's Marcus Phoenix? Doesn't look like he's going to be in this. Well, he might be in this game, but he's definitely not the lead in this game. It's taken place 20 years after the events of Gears of War 3. And the lead guy in this game is actually JD Phoenix, which is Marcus's son. So... completely different. And then we've also got Kate Diaz, who's some survivalist, spent plenty of time protecting humanity, will be voiced by Laura Bailey, who we know from many other games. Most recently, she did Borderlands, the Telltale collection. She also was in Infamous Second Son. She played Fetch. And then Del Walker, some ex-soldier who's also a friend of JD. You see a picture of all three of them up on the screen there. Don't really... I mean, personally, it's news, but I don't really care who the characters are now. I'll care who they are when I'm playing with them, if they're interesting.
Yeah, it's not about what they look like or what their names are. It's about how the script is written and how they interact as characters.
Yeah. I mean, neither of you possibly necessarily have the same attachment, so do you think it's a risk for them to divert... I'll phrase it in. Do you think it's a risk that they divert away from the tried and tested to something new? Or do you think it's a good thing? New generation, new character. For example, it's not quite as iconic as Master Chief in Halo, but it's like we saw obviously Locke kind of taking a front role in this Halo, and people kind of got a bit angry about that. So does the same thing apply to the Gears franchise?
I know what you're meaning, because you can get to the point where it's almost reaching a stage of the characters pretty much being invincible as such, and it's just in reality there's only so long someone can last. And it's surely at some point either they're going to bite the bullet, for want of a better phrase, or they're just going to hang it up and just be like, enough. But
in some games, quite a few games, sometimes, we've talked about this before, when does the character become the brand? Like Nathan Drake is Uncharted. Would it be Uncharted if it wasn't Nathan Drake? Would it be Halo if it wasn't Master Chief?
Could it just be called Tomb Raider?
Okay, would Tomb Raider be Tomb Raider without Lara Croft? It's
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
would Metal Gear be Metal Gear without Snake in some form?
Yeah. No, you're right, and I think for this, and I think because of the game that Gears of War is, I think you probably can get away with moving to son or daughter, sort of carrying the torch, if you like.
Yeah.
I think that is. People can adapt to that easier, I would say, than an entire new person coming in. Let's just say JD Phoenix, let's say Marcus is dead and JD comes in and he wants, his dad's legacy and everything to live on, and you've got you can still keep the story going. Keep the legacy of those older people going in the story still, so it doesn't feel like you're totally detached from them. So it's a clever way, I think, it's sort of a step sideways.
Same universe, it's a different picture, it's a different story in the same universe.
So it's a lot easier to roll through in like a military shooter game as well anyway, because by their nature there's always changing cast and whatnot.
Yeah. So we've also learned a little bit about the campaign in the game. It's going to take place over a 24-hour event, so it's obviously going to be a pretty crazy day for our trio.
So it's going to be Gears of War 24.
It could be, but I doubt it. There is co-op still, which is important in any Gears franchise. Not 4-player, as we had in Gears 3 though. It's only 2-player this time, which is good for people like me who would struggle to get 3 friends. And the game, they've said the campaign will definitely run at 1080 and it'll be fixed at 30 frames. But when they have their multiplayer, they want obviously the frame rate to be important, so that'll be 60, and then the resolution may vary depending on that. So that's kind of an interesting way to do it. We talk about this whole resolution fiasco. Should it be 1080 30, or does all shooters now have to be 60? But then shouldn't it be 1080 60? We don't want 900 60 because it looks so shit by comparison. And so I like that they've said visuals are important in a campaign. Frame rate is king in the multiplayer. And it's a logical, sensible approach. So well done. Anything to add on that, guys? I know you don't really play Gears.
Yeah, Gears. It's just
you excited for it though, Ash? New cast now, so you don't feel like you're missing out on a story.
I don't. But just Gears is just not something that's ever really drawn me in. I'm not saying it won't, because there are games where I've not been drawn in, and they bring out a new title, and I'm just totally committed to it.
Yeah.
So it can change, but at this stage, it's one that will probably pass me by.
Xbox One, Dan?
No. It's like I'm very much like Ash in terms of the Gears franchise. I've seen it. I recognise its importance, the Xbox franchise and everything like that. But it's just not one that's
appeals to you.
Ever appealed. Yeah.
So you're still more on the fence of it's going to be Halo that has to bring you over, then, is it?
Not necessarily just Halo or anything like that, but that's obviously their flagship.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's move on. I feel like beating the Xbox One campaign is...
Xbox One drum.
It doesn't affect me, really. I still got my Xbox and I enjoy it. That's all that really matters. Release dates. We have a couple this week. The most important one, though, early contender, headrunner for Game of the Year 2016, Alien Nation from Studio Housemarque. It's got a release date now of April 26th, which kind of to me explains why Naughty Dog decided to delay Uncharted by 2 weeks. They didn't want to get in the way of Alien Nation and just the huge success that game is going to be.
Yeah.
So, well done for Naughty Dog for respecting Housemarque and getting out of their way. So, I'm really excited for this one. We saw a new trailer this week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
No. I mean, to the outsider, it might have actually sounded like he was just taking the piss. That's the problem.
I'm not taking the piss, being dead serious.
I know you are, but I'm just saying.
Alien Nation over Uncharted 4. Alien Nation will give me more enjoyment.
See, I know you don't really mean that.
How much Dead Nation did you play?
I didn't play that much Dead Nation, but I played about 40 hours of plus 50 hours of Resogun, which is more hours than the Uncharted campaign takes.
I know, but Dead Nation's much more a similar game.
Yeah, but that was just because I never really played a Housemarque game until Resogun. So when I was going back to their games, it's like you played Uncharted 2 and then you couldn't play Uncharted 1 afterwards because you realised it was so much better. And that's the same
fair enough.
methodology. So don't try and catch me on that loophole.
Oh.
Loophole. But anyway, look out for that on PS4. It's going to be a good game. I will convert you guys. Overwatch.
Yes.
This one, first-person shooter from the guys at Blizzard. If there's one thing that Blizzard know how to do, is how to make a lot of money and a lot of success out of multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Little franchise called World of Warcraft, you might have heard of them. Another franchise you might have heard of, Call of Duty. Both Blizzard products, technically, because Blizzard does own Activision.
It does.
So Overwatch is coming to PC, Xbox One, PS4 on May 24th. Looks like a really fun, colourful shooter.
I love the look of this game.
Yeah. It, like, in terms of its visuals, is so...
It is. It takes the sort of Call of Duty game and makes it fun rather than serious, I think.
Colourful.
Yeah.
You see it in the colours. It reminds me a little bit of Time Splitters in its aesthetic. Now, in terms of the gameplay, it's nothing like it, but we have different classes and stuff. There'll be all the cliche modes, probably team deathmatch and, you know, capture the flag. And I know it's moved on since then, but those are the only two modes I remember playing. There's these things now like search and destroy or something, I think is a thing nowadays. And you have to like capture points and hold points. Anyway. So that looks really good. If you're kind of on the fence about the game, there will be a beta running May 5th to May 9th. So just before Uncharted comes out.
Open or closed?
As far as I'm aware, it's going to be open. But you can get early. It'll be closed from the 3rd to the 4th if you pre-order the game.
Okay.
So you can get it for an extra couple of days. So is that one, Dan, that you are interested in? Or is it kind of, I'll play the beta, see how it goes?
Yeah, I think at this stage there's so many different shooters out there and so on that when you get the opportunity to play something ahead of actually buying the game, to actually test it properly, then I think that's really the way to go.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
I really like this whole now, the beta's the new demo thing.
Yeah.
Because a demo is, the betas are often bigger than a demo ever was.
Yeah.
And with the multiplayer, demos were always single player experiences.
Yes.
For the most part. There was the odd multiplayer demo, but for the most part. And as this gives you, like you say, we're getting more and more into these connected worlds. It's good that you can effectively play a portion of the game. Yeah. Granted, it doesn't always represent final quality, but generally if you're playing a beta, 2 weeks before the launch of a game, it's probably a pretty good indicator of where the game is sitting.
I would say so. Yeah, we saw that with Division. You know, it's it gave you a good insight into the game mechanics, how the game looked, how the game felt, and you know when you play the game on release, it's exactly how you would expect it. So yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if that had been a disaster when I played that beta, I probably wouldn't own the game right now.
Yeah,
and that's key, I think, at this stage.
It is important. Moving on, then we have some update from one of Dan's favourite studios, CD Projekt Red, the makers of The Witcher 3, one of the best games of last year. Well, actually, according to this table, the best game of last year. You were outvoted.
Oh.
We both said it was our game of the year. So, Malakesh, what was your game of the year again?
Forgotten.
It was that good, is it?
It was.
Fallout. Must have been Fallout.
Yeah. Maybe.
Probably. It's that memorable.
It was up there.
It's so good for you. But
dude, I can't remember what I did yesterday. What game I decided was my game of the year.
Anyway, so we've got an announcement now that in their latest financials they revealed that 20 million games of the Witcher franchise have been sold, and pretty much 50% of those is The Witcher 3.
20 million or 10 million?
20 million in the franchise.
Right.
50% was The Witcher 3, which means 10 million for people that can do maths.
Got ya.
I wrote it down like that way so that you didn't have to work out the maths. So really good success there for The Witcher. I think I remember we did a 6 million news story a couple of months after release, so they've obviously shifted a few more over the holidays, and it winning all these Game of the Year awards has probably convinced more people to pick it up and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is as at the end of December, so it's probably actually above that now because of the Game of the Year editions and stuff. They did also confirm that the next DLC, Blood and Wine, is coming this year. I think we kind of already knew that though anyway. There is another new game from CD Projekt Red coming in 2016. We have no idea what it is, other than it won't be Cyberpunk, but they said it's going to be a new type of game format previously unexplored by the studio. Anyone want to venture a guess what a tool that means?
Racing.
I'm pretty sure that they said that it's something that hasn't been done before, period.
Oh.
I don't have... This is the summary of their thing, but I'm sure they said it's something completely different that's been unexplored.
They're going to combine voice-activated games with VR and the whole hand gesturing controllers.
See, I thought maybe...
So it's going to be a whole load of kind of thing and then yelling at the...
Could be.
I'm gonna...
Yeah, I know.
That's now going to be the GIF at the front of every single video.
I know. I was fully aware of what I was
As you were doing it, it was like, do I regret this?
No.
I was thinking completely outside the box. Maybe it's some sort of like tabletop The Witcher game. Like with like Gwent involved, obviously. I mean, there are some Gwent cards out there, which I know people got really excited about. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to think completely outside the box because it's a new game format. It's the word format rather than genre that kind of makes me think it could be something away from video games.
Could be.
Plus, we know they're hard at work on Cyberpunk 2077. They've said that game will be coming in the window of 2017 through to 2021. So basically, they have no idea when it's going to be ready
At
yet.
some point in your lifetime, this game will be released.
At what point do they give the it's delayed announcement in that window?
It's got to be earlier than 2021 because I'm sure we've talked about this before, but I'm sure the next gen of consoles will be here before 2021.
Yeah.
So I understand what they're saying is they basically what they were saying is that they're over the next 5 years they plan to release a AAA RPG game was the exact words.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just been
I know
interpreted.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sure we'll probably see it. We were talking about it just off air before, but The Witcher 3 took, I think, about just over 3 years to make. So we can imagine that maybe if we're lucky, end of next year, but probably 2018, which is fine. You know, they say it's going to be greater in every way than The Witcher 3, bigger, more adventurous. So, and that game's big.
Yes.
Does that not like scare you a little bit to think that there'll be a game which makes The Witcher 3 look like there's nothing to do?
A little bit. That seems like just massively expansive, but we'll see.
It will literally be the game of the year because it will take you a full year to complete it.
It would.
And the final news item today for Ash. I know he was looking forward to it for a long time.
I was, and it had all gone quiet, and I'd sort of given up hope on it, really.
To clarify, this isn't exactly what I'd call great news, but all they've said, Dead Island 2, the development on the game has finally resumed. So, obviously that's good, but kind of in a pocket of information. This game was supposed to be out last year, initially. And then last summer, Deep Silver basically chucked Jaeger off for development for reasons we still don't really know, but creative differences, I think, was the reason given.
Yeah.
So since then it's kind of all been quiet, and here we are now, just over 6 months later, and it's going to be developed by a studio called Sumo Digital. They made Little Big Planet 3. They also made the classic Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, if anyone ever played that game. They're also assisting as well with the development on Crackdown. So they've done a few things, nothing huge so far. But when it says resumes, it depends whether or not they're going to finish what Jaeger started, or if they're going to start again. That will determine whether or not we're going to see the game this year, next year, 2018. I'm surprised that they haven't just cancelled this game, and they should have just cancelled it, and then they should have got the studio to come in and created a new.
Yeah.
But it would have been rebranded, not Dead Island 2. Call it Dead Island Reborn or something.
Yeah.
You know, we see non-numbered titles quite a lot now. Anyway,
Well, we had Dead Island Riptide.
But that was expansion.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But
standalone.
It was a standalone. Yeah.
So yeah, look forward to that.
We'll see what happens.
If you can't wait, Ash mentioning Riptide, there is actually a definitive edition coming to a new gen in just a couple of months' time, which will have Riptide, the original game, and some mini retro revenge game as well. So you can still get your Dead Island fix if you really want it on the new gen. Because I know you're struggling to find enough games to play, Ash.
Yeah, tremendously.
Yeah,
we need to do that list.
We do. I've done mine. I finished them all.
If you missed last week, Matt and I talked. Our party chat was discussing the games we need to get back on with. And obviously since then the Division has come out, which has just thrown a massive spanner of all spanners in the works.
Yeah, basically the works is now the spanner.
Yeah,
so much.
It's pretty bad. So we agreed that I would give Matt a challenge to complete as many of those outstanding games as possible. So
we need to get on that.
We do.
But talking of the Division, moves us nicely into this week's games.
It does.
And that's a good place to start. Obviously, I think most people in the video game world have heard of the Division, which is a new game from Ubisoft, basically post-apocalyptic. Basically, a massive virus has broken out in New York, and you're sent in as an agent from the agency called The Division to basically fix everything. There's rioters looting the city. There's people trying to burn everyone because they think everyone's infected, aptly called the Cleaners. Mm-hmm. But we have all played this game, which I was thinking about it before, it's not often that all three of us play a game. Like,
true.
We have a lot of crossover with maybe two of us,
yeah,
but we don't often all play three. So,
and especially on release week.
So rather than spending a huge amount of time discussing it here, this week's party chat is going to be dedicated to the Division. So you can go over there on Wednesday and check out our full conversation about what we like, what we don't like, and everything involved. It'll be about a 15-minute chat rather than keeping you here all day on this conversation. Hitman Episode 1 is out this week. We know Hitman Agent 47, he's come back. I did a Let's Play of beta last week. It's pretty good fun. I do like the game, but we've discussed this before. Not going to be picking it up at the principle, the stupid episodic release.
Yes.
And it's hard because I really want to play it. This is the first time I'm not playing a game out of principle.
Yeah.
And it's actually...
Same.
The game's been out 2 days and it's already hard, even though I'm locked down in Division. So I nearly actually even bought the limited edition for like £100. That's how much protesting I'm doing. And I was like, no.
I am the same. You know, I was so excited for Hitman. You know, I love the Hitman games. And when we found out a few months ago that it was going to be episodic, I sort of lost interest. I still really want to play the game. I still really want to, you know, get involved with it, but not episode by episode. You know, I'm happy to wait till they release.
January 2017 is the release of the disc version of the game. That was announced this week. So if you are holding out for a retail version,
be a while.
You'll be a while.
9 months.
And it has also been told that there are certain real-time events that are going to be taking place in this game, where there's like a target to assassinate in a certain, like, you know, he's only around this weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're buying the retail version, you're also going to miss out on those exclusive contracts because they're happening through the game's release over the year. So really kind of sticking it to the people that want the full game experience, which I don't agree with.
Nah.
But what are you going to do?
Play Division.
Yeah.
No, it's basically protesting with your wallet, isn't it? You're not buying it now.
Might not even buy it at all.
Well, yeah.
Exactly, because by the time that comes around...
Because I will probably, by the time it comes around, I might as well I'll wait another 6 months until it's £20 rather than paying full price for the disc.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
But from what you played, you like the game, clearly.
I liked it. It was good fun. what it was. Did you play the beta?
I didn't play it. I've seen plenty of videos.
Well, you were ill, obviously, last weekend.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen plenty of videos on it though, and it does look good. And like one of the things that one of the videos I was watching commented on is the fact that you can now save in mission.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
So on. So if you want to be able to try all the different ways of actually taking out your target, you don't have to play through the whole thing again and again and again. You can get yourself to your point, save, and then you can just mess about with all the different ways as much as you want.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Moving on, we do have a lot of games this week. We're not going to go through them all in equal amount of detail, but we have Kolat, which is basically appears to be an exploration adventure game based on a true story of some missing Russian miners. There's some hikers, sorry, not miners.
Yeah, I am really intrigued by this game. It's narrated by Sean Bean, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Does that mean
he dies?
No, it does look really good.
How does a beheaded person sound?
I'm assuming the mouth is quite silent, and then there's a lot of arm flapping on the other side.
It does look good.
By the way, there's your second gif.
Yep. So I control the videos. I don't have to do that.
It does look good.
Yeah, it looks good. Horror element to it. So
it's not often we see a game that has a true story, true event link to. It's not often we see that.
No, I can't think of many off. But you could argue that Madden's based on real life events. Apart from when you see people like with the Oakland Raiders winning the Super Bowls, and that's not going to happen.
A mystery death adventure game, based on true events. I can't recall.
Agatha Christie.
No, that's
Sherlock Holmes.
That's big.
Also made up.
But they're in books, so they must be real, right? Everything in books are real.
Moving on.
Let me explain the difference between fiction and non-fiction.
That's going to be our new show on Thursdays, explaining stupid things to Matt.
Yeah.
Alakine's Gun, the next one up here. This seems that you are, and it's another assassin game. So if you want a full assassin game this week and not the Hitman episodic.
With Russians again.
Those damn Russians.
It's all about the Russians this week.
Getting involved this week. So that game looks fine for what it was. It's not really anything else massively to add. If I've had time, you might see a quick 10-second clip of it. Tetraminos is the next one here, which is Tetris. Basically, there's nothing really else to say on the game. I don't know why it's not called Tetris, probably because the last Tetris game that came out had massive bugs on multiplayer on the PS4. So hopefully...
It's probably also licensing.
Probably.
Someone owns Tetris itself.
I would think it's more to do with the copyright, but...
Yeah. This has 50 puzzles, if you're interested. Then, the most interesting game of the week, I think, Casey Powell's Lacrosse 16. So, if you've ever wanted to experience in-depth lacrosse gameplay and high-quality visuals, that's up for debate. They got multi-year beer pro modes and competitive online, real-time RPG leveling.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting when you see these sports that are, I don't want to say not real sports because I do bowling, which isn't a real sport, but like
not mainstream.
Your kind of niche sports.
Yes.
Getting video games because we saw the handball one a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we did.
And I got a lacrosse one, so I hope for fans of lacrosse that the game is good. But
and for Casey Powell, whoever he may be,
Mr. Powell to you,
Mr. Powell, aka Mr. Lacrosse.
He'll be lacrosse with you if you keep mocking him.
Oh,
the dumb
Assault Android Cactus is next up. This one was we have a team of androids trying to rescue a spaceship by fighting back against robot uprising. This is your twin stick shooter of the week, basically.
Yeah.
Not really much else to add. 25 level campaign if you're interested. Then we have MOP, Operation Cleanup. So if you've ever liked cleaning so much that you wanted cleaning to be a video game, then this is the game for you. You're basically a little robot.
You're really selling it, man.
I know. You're this. There's 50 missions. You've got a robot that has it's a platforming game basically, but rather than collecting coins or mushrooms or whatever it is that everyone else collects, you collect rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
There was some platforming there, very aching towards Guacamelee gameplay, where you're sliding down the walls and jumping off them and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a platformer with a difference, maybe. Anyone? No?
No.
Then we've got Dre, which is some weird puzzle. It's as difficult to say as it is to understand and explain what kind of puzzle game this is.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's an award-winning collaborative physics conundrum. Apparently. But I had no idea really what was going on. It looked really weird. It was definitely a puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a good Vita game. I think if you're someone that's on the go, wants to take your Vita around with you, probably a good Vita game maybe for the commute on the train.
Alright, we're running through these last few ones now. We've got Blast and Bunnies, where you basically get to shoot bunnies from a first-person view, if you're into that sort of thing. Miko Mole, which is another sort of platforming game where you are a mole and you have to steal diamonds. We don't have to, but you do steal diamonds.
That's the objective.
That's the objective. You could fail the objective if you wanted.
My conscientious objective is thief.
Yeah.
I won't take a thing.
So yeah, over 240 levels in this game, so pretty substantial.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a game that might last a while. So kind of stealth elements to that. Magnets fully charged. This was a game where it looked like you were just rolling around as a magnet, beating up other electronic things. I guess using your magnet powers to...
Polarity is key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that was the catchphrase, wasn't it?
Something like that.
And then we've also got a couple of games which we've seen on other platforms, but now coming to new platforms. Cell Damage HD is now on the Xbox. We've seen this on PlayStation 4. The crazy cartoon characters driving around, Destruction Derby, blowing into each other, shooting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think of Wacky Racers, the game. Although I believe Cell Damage was also a cartoon at one point as well. For you older people, possibly not. It looks like it. It looks like a cartoon if it wasn't. Bless you.
I'm back.
And then we've got Gemini, Heroes Reborn. We saw it on the Xbox a couple weeks ago. This looks like a first-person action-adventure game where I think it's based on a new Heroes TV show that came back for a series and got cancelled again because it was still crap. We thought it looked quite cool on Xbox. Kind of, you've got these powers and stuff like Infamous-esque, Psyops kind of style. Now on the PlayStation if you want to check that out. And then there's a definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest on the Xbox. For anyone that hasn't picked up this game, they definitely should, because it's a very, very, very good platformer. There's a new area of the world that's been added to the definitive edition, along with a new skill for Ori to learn. And the really good thing is, if you own Ori, you can actually upgrade to the definitive edition for like £3, which is really cool, because normally they re-release the games with all the new stuff, and it basically screws over your early adopters because you have to buy the whole game again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 questions. Was this Xbox only?
Xbox One.
Xbox.
It was supposed to come out on PC, the definitive edition, but it's been delayed.
It was exclusive Xbox.
Yeah.
And second question, is this available in physical copy?
No. I've already given you a code.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you email it to me?
I messaged it to you, and I said, I know you haven't played this game yet. Here you go, have a code.
Oh, maybe.
Happy Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to hear that you've used it well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That was £11 last month. Because you gave me that Just Cause book.
I did.
So
I did.
Rather than giving you money, I gave you the code for that.
Yes, I remember. I have got it.
Played it?
No, I'm going to do it when I get home.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm downloading
No, you're not. You're going to play the Division.
No. I need to download it. I need to
Okay, you're going to download it.
claim my code.
So what is everyone's pick of the week this week then? Do I even really need to ask? Ash.
It is
Oi.
undoubtedly The Division. As you'll see from this week's party chat, I think we are all enjoying the game. I'm really enjoying it.
Yep.
I wish I had a bit more time to play it and level up. I'm not sure I'm going to quite give as much commitment to this as I did with Fallout, but I'd like to give a good 100 hours if I could.
Just 100.
Just 100.
Dan?
Yeah, it's the Division. It's... What else can
For
you
the
say?
re- for the reasons
I
you're
don't
going to
want to
say...
oversay too much now. That's
Save it for the party chat. Yeah, I'm going to say, really enjoying it. It's got... I'll go into full details again in party chat, but it's definitely got its claws in me. I want to finish recording as soon as possible so I can go back and play some more. So yeah, really good game. Ori, though, you do have to check out Ori if you haven't played it. It is one of the best games on Xbox One right now. So make sure you do check that out. And that's it for this week, guys. We have survived episode 88. Closing in on that century.
Milestone.
For the few people that care. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below this week. What do you think of Fable's Legend being cancelled? Are you gutted or do you not really care?
Do you look forward to Sony's Fable?
Yeah. Gears 4. Excited for the new cast. Do you think Marcus should be in it? And then yeah, also The Division. If you're enjoying it, let us know down below. Or anything else. But for now, Dan,
cheers,
Ash,
guys.
Thank you as always.
Thank you, guys.
And everyone out there, thank you very much for watching. We will see you all next time.